Hello and welcome to today's video. Now, I know that I'm kind of late to the party, and there have been some new rules changes that WeirdCo have been showing us. Now, there is a couple things that they didn't talk about in the podcast and that you guys might have missed. And I want to go through the big changes first and take just a couple minutes on those, and then move on to a bunch of things and information that you might not know and that a lot of people might have missed. And so let's get right into it. Now, here's the rules update article from WeirdCo, and if we scroll down, there's a bunch of changes. The first one is the turn structure one. Now, before we had the ready phase and the attack phase. The ready phase is now called the start phase, and also the play and attack phases have been combined into a fluid main phase. Let's do the ready phase or start phase first. We have a small change here, which you might not have noticed. It is that the draw is before rolling the gig die now. So the card you draw will now be available to you as information for which gig you want to try and roll. Now, for the fluid main phase, this basically means that before you had to play all your cards and then attack with all your units. Now you're able to attack with a unit and then play more cards and sell a card and then attack again. Now you are more flexible, and you can also do stuff after battle. So if you have a Kiroshi Optics, you can now attack, look at your legend, and then call a legend afterwards. If you have a Satori, you can attack, draw a card, and then use that card afterwards. So there's a lot more flexibility. Also, the defender now is not working with perfect information, because you could attack first and play cards after, and they don't know what you want to play after. And before, you had to play everything and then attack, and so the defender could plan a lot better what they wanted to block and whatnot. Now, this means that attacking is stronger and defending is a bit weaker, because you're not telegraphing as much. Now, since you now have more options in which way you want to order the things you want to do in your turn, there's a lot more complexity, but it doesn't feel more complicated. Now, the skill ceiling is raised, which means that if you want to play optimally, you will need to think of more things, and that might make the turns a bit longer, especially when thinking about competitive play, where a game could have a certain time in which it has to be completed. Now, some of the gig effects are stronger because you can attack first and play them afterwards. So you can attack and try to steal the gigs you need for the cards you want to play after. I'm thinking of stuff like Carnage at the Colosseum, try and steal a couple of 8+ gig dice, and then play it for less eddies. And yeah, now the next one is changes to attacking. There's a couple changes that happen here. One of the interesting things that I want to point out is that there is now a quick keyword. So cards that can be played in the opponent's attack step have a keyword now. And this also, that they are writing this here, shows me that they have a lot of these cards planned, because they are creating a keyword for it. Let's have a look at the attack sequence. Here, not much has changed. The main thing is that, for one, you are not attacking the rival directly. You are attacking the gig area now, which makes more sense because you're trying to steal the gigs, so you're attacking the gig area and then you steal the gigs, instead of attacking the rival and then stealing gigs. This makes things a little more clear. Also, they have made this a bit easier to understand with the blocker and quick effects. Now, the next thing that is really cool is that calling a legend now costs 1 eddy instead of 2. This means that legends are a lot easier to be called, because they're just half price now. The reason they gave for this was that they wanted legends to be awesome and to not feel like too much of an investment, and people should have a lot of legends called during a game, and they want to facilitate that, and making it only one cost helps definitely. Now, a couple of interesting things about that is that the game feels a little more consistent because you're always trying to be as eddy efficient as possible. That means that you're spending all the eddies you have in a turn. And so now if you have just one eddy left, you can just call a legend, which you couldn't do before. Also, legends now kind of pay for themselves because it costs one eddy, so you can spend the legend and then call it. And that also means that cards like Panam are basically free because you pay with Panam, you then call her, and then she readies herself. And so I'm not sure how good of an interaction that is, because I really like the idea of legends being able to ready themselves when being called. And yeah, we'll see what the changes they're doing to cards like Panam will give us. Now, the next change is the win condition changed from 6 gig dice to 7. 7 gig dice was already the amount you needed in overtime, and now during normal play in the turns before overtime, 7 gig dice is the amount you need at the start of your turn to win. This addresses an issue that I feel like would have been very bad for the game, and that is that currently, before these rules changes, it felt like you always had to play a lot of units on the board, especially early, because losing on board state and tempo meant that you often just lost the game immediately. Also, if you had like a large unit and it got hit by cyber psychosis and got removed, this blowout often meant that you just lost the game on the spot. And so I really like this change because because there is less pressure to play units, and it feels a bit more like control decks are stronger because overtime might be seen more often, and also you can't just lose immediately as easily if you lose your big unit or if you lose your board for some reason. So there's more comeback potential as well, which I really like. Now, there's more stuff here. They are doing a lot of work in the background. One thing will be that the next couple of weeks there will be updates to cards that we have already seen. And also, spoiler season will start soon, so I'm excited to see what they are showing us then and cover it for you guys. Now, let's head over to the how to play section, because here they changed a lot of things, and there is a couple of things that they have not shown in the article, but that are really interesting. Now, let's go down a bit. Look at that. They have changed the card here. Now, Street Kid V will have a change. The old one costs 4, has Go Solo, and when it's defeated, you trash the top 3 cards of your deck and then add a Brain Dance to your hand. New Street Kid V costs 5 and has 6 power instead of 4, and you trash 3 and add the Brain Dance on call, not on defeat. This is cool because it means you always get the effect and don't have to get him into your trash. But it also means that when you're calling Street Kid V early, could be that you don't have a Brain Dance in your trash yet, so this effect then fizzles and you don't get it. Now, I want to show something else here. It's that under the sell tag, it says, you can sell cards with this symbol for eddies. Legends with a sell tag can be spent to pay 1 eddy in the Legends area. Now, this sounds kind of interesting, and I don't want to read too much into it, but this almost sounds like some Legends might not have a sell tag, because it says Legends with a sell tag can be spent, so Legends without a sell tag cannot be spent. So just a small thing I want to point out here. Take this with a grain of salt. Could just be the way they wrote this, and all Legends have an eddy tag. But I kind of like the idea of having Legends that cannot be spent for eddies and that only have like another spend effect, or that have Go Solo but no effect here. Now let's go down a bit more to the timing triggers and keywords section, because now we have some more keywords. There is Adrenaline. This unit can attack the turn it's played. That's awesome. We'll probably see some Adrenaline units in the near future. Yeah, so excited to see some more cards like that. probably some aggro deck will make good use of this keyword. Now we also have the quick keyword here. Notably, these effects can be used in only as a reaction when a rival unit attacks. So there probably won't be any counter spell type effects for now. Yeah, at least that's how they worded it right now. So they might change this later. Maybe there will be quick effects that can be used in reaction to other actions and not just attacking. All right, now let's go down a bit more. And yeah, we have the attack phase here. This looks a lot cleaner. Now, in the glossary, there's something that I want to point out last, and that is the lag here. Units with lag can't attack or activate self-spent effects. All units enter the field with lag. This lasts until the end of the turn. So if you play a unit in the opponent's turn, in the rival's turn, that is until the end of that turn, and then in your turn you could play it. Now, the important thing here is that not only do they now have a specific term for it, but it also means like that cards like carry Eurodyne, which can spend for if you have a max gig and draw 2 cards, cannot be used in your turn when you play it. You have to wait a turn, and that was one of the questions that the community had, and now this question is answered. Now, this was all the rules changes from this rules update. I just want to say that I got to play it a bit and I like the changes. They definitely help mitigate some of those minor issues that we had, especially stuff like the tempo and blowouts not being as bad of a thing now. There is more back and forth. The game feels less erratic. And also, WeirdCo changing some fundamental things about the game they are creating shows trust and shows that they are okay with doing things to make the game better, even if it means scrapping or drastically changing some of the stuff that they have been testing for a long time and that they've been trying out for a long time. And so I'm really happy with where the game is going. Now, I hope this covered everything that you guys want to know. Again, sorry, I'm a bit late to the party, but that's how things sometimes go with life. Now, I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you around, tunes.